Ba-ba-ba. Welcome to Digital Asset News. Take the top stories in cryptocurrency and digital assets and break them down in bite-sized pieces. So today, pretty interesting stuff. And before we get started, let's go over the basics of basics. First of all, how does it sound? How does it look? No glitchiness. I think we're good. I can hear myself. I think we're okay. All right. So the big thing, the big news. I find this fascinating today about what is going on in the market itself. It's just one of those days where I realize, first of all, that I was wrong about what PayPal is going to do. I was wrong. I didn't think that they would actually move forward in this massive manner. And I was wrong because I didn't think they actually had the foresight to do it, because I thought it was all a big money play. Hey, can't get them all right. But it doesn't matter if I'm right or wrong. It really doesn't matter. What really matters is that the market responds, and that's what it's all about. So today, we're going to take a look at three stories. First up, PayPal users will be able to withdraw crypto to external wallets. And if you're new to cryptocurrency and digital assets, you might think to yourself, why is such a big deal? Who really cares? I'm buying cryptocurrency so it can go up. It's just a speculative asset. I could care less. And we'll get into that about why this is actually a big deal. So on the positive side, we have something going on with PayPal. On somewhat of a negative side, we see ads are being banned in the UK. And actually, it's just one specific incident. And at first glance, this looks really bad as they're starting to ban ads. But in reality, this is actually good news. And I'm going to explain exactly why this is good news and what this company might potentially do, and how I think it could actually play out in their favor massively. So we'll take a look at those two stories. And finally, Charles Hoskinson. Ethereum is killing itself. Cardano is leading the fight. And I have to tell you, there is no shortage of hubris for Charles Hoskinson and his belief in Cardano and what's going on. So you have to understand, first of all, before we go on, I own Cardano. I own Ethereum. I own a boatload of both of those. And I think this is great for the space. And I'll explain why. And look, Charles is he's the king of what he does, and we'll go over into all that. And we're also going to take a look at how I kind of see Charles Hoskinson and Vitalik Buterin are kind of like Steve Jobs and Bill Gates of their day. So we'll take a look at all that, but first let's take a look at what's going on in the market. And before we do that, let's just pull up what's going on. First of all, let's make sure that everybody can hear me. I think we can. I think I pulled up. There it is. I pulled up the wrong tab. Let me get you here. There we are. All right. Dave, Philip, Paul, hello. I'm early. You're super early. Sound looks good. Sound and looks good. Great. Looking and sounding good. Fantastic. Yeah, it's a great day here in Houston, Texas. I can't imagine getting much better. The audio sounds horrible. That's bad for you. Early in the chat, late into crypto. Good day, Rob. From Philly, hello. Ada, Cardano's the future. Yeah, we'll see. Johnny Midas, Malibu. Charles the man. How are we doing today, Rob? Pretty good. We hear you. Great. So I'm using I pulled out the SM7B microphone. I was getting kind of tired of the earbuds, so I decided, well, I brought it with me. I might as well actually use it, and we'll go from there. Yeah, the beard just got lazy. What are you going to do? All right. Can you make a video on ShibaSwap? No, probably not. Audio's good. Great. Let's get into it. Sorry, there's just some projects I just don't have any interest in, and that's that. Sorry. Not that I don't think it's going to be great. Just don't get into it. All right. So here's what we have. First of all, the market itself today is doing pretty good. We're at 1.76. And I know if you just woke up after being in a coma, you're probably thinking to yourself, what happened to my $2.5 trillion market cap? Well, today we're at 1.76. But remember, just not too long ago, we were at 1.32, 1.34, somewhere around there. So the market's done pretty well. Bitcoin itself is even up to 40,000. Let's just take a look real quick. I'm always interested because before I even do these videos, I don't even take a look at the market, as I'm curious as much as some other people. I know everybody A lot of people just like to look at their portfolio all day long. I just think that's a mistake. Try to get away from it, do some other stuff. So let's see, 24 hours, Bitcoin's almost at 40. Ethereum is almost at 3,000. Good job. Also, Mark Cuban just came out and said that he just bought up a ton of Polygon or Matic, so that should be good for Ethereum holders and especially for Matic holders. I think Matic, it's up to 14. That's crazy. Mark Cuban comes out and says he's buying a bunch of Matic. People buy it up, goes up 20%, 30%, and then it drops down 3% in a day. And welcome to cryptocurrency. XRP up 3%, Polkadot 5%, 15% for Uniswap. Hopefully that version 3 is doing well. And go from there. EOS, wow. EOS up 22%. Sure. I own a bunch of EOS. I bought that a long time ago. I'm just too stubborn to sell it, and off we are. 13% for Chili's. I really need to get into that. Maybe one day when I can find a good entry point. Anyhow, so since we're using Trade the Chain, let's take a look at the sentiment analysis, see where we could potentially go. If you're a big trader, I personally am not. This is what I would look into. With 90% assurance, you're looking at, I don't even know what this is, BTU protocol, Rary governance, Polymath, Redcoin, Origin Trail, and Storage are looking to go up between 6% and 3% in the next hour, even up to 24. Wow, 24% for BTU protocol. Take a look at that. And of course, these videos are investment opinion, not investment advice. Do your own research, all that great stuff. Let's jump in. Okay. So this first piece here, PayPal users able to withdraw crypto to external wallets. You have to remember, this was kind of the start of the bull run about 8 months ago or so when PayPal came out and said, hey, we're going to offer up Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, Ethereum, and Litecoin. And everybody's super happy about it. And they're like, this is going to be great. And it is great. It really is. It allows people to get exposure to crypto and really get into it. Also to all the merchants that are on that those PayPal fronts to be paid in cryptocurrency. Not sure if they roll that out 100% globally, but here we are. But you can still buy crypto, and that's pretty great and easy. The problem was you weren't really buying Bitcoin. You weren't really buying Bitcoin Cash, Ethereum, or Litecoin. You were just buying placeholders, essentially, because you were not able to take crypto off of PayPal and really unbank yourself and get out of the system if you really wanted to. You had no way to take those cryptocurrencies and put them into other platforms to gain yield. You can't really do too much with it. All you could do was buy it, hope it goes up, and sell it to somebody else. And you really couldn't use it pretty much past that. Well, that changes soon, and I'll tell you what's going on. So this is just 7 months after the decision. So this was yesterday. The announcement means PayPal users will be able to send their crypto to other wallets instead of just holding it on PayPal. And then just so you know, if they do this in the same way, because all these companies make announcements and they slowly roll things out because they don't want to screw anything up. I mean, how awful would it be if they put all these things in hot wallets and people start to take it all off and it goes in the wrong place and people get scammed or whatever? They got to make sure that these things actually work first. So they're going to talk about it. They're going to get their team together. The Curve is the company that holds the actual assets or custody. They got to make sure that everything is up with them, and then they'll roll it out. So if it's anything like the decision to enter in cryptocurrency, expect it to roll out in segmented ways in different regions over time. Probably US first, and then off to Europe, and off you go. Okay. And then, so that's good news. So the big thing to me, and I think to a lot of people, is, well, who cares? Well, who cares? Who cares if I can do it anyhow? I'm just here for the speculation. But you have to remember, crypto and digital assets are not just about getting into it and speculating and then off you go, right? Those are for, I mean, if you want to look at other tokens, there's a lot of tokens you can do that with. But in reality, what crypto was actually made for was so that you could get out of this system. You wouldn't have to use dollar bills or be stuck into some type of governmental program. And you could not really, you could, even if you had no bank, you could become some way of a bank and actually get into the financial system independent of where you lived. The whole thing vested on that you could control these private keys. You could control the cryptocurrency, and you could do whatever you want to with it without having a middleman to charge you fees and everything else. So when PayPal does this, this is good news for everybody who wants to get into crypto later on. Now, I don't think it's going to be the end all be all. I think they're going to add more cryptocurrencies as time goes on. Hopefully, some of the projects that I hold, but who knows? So I think this is a good move in the right direction. And the other big thing is, if you're looking at things for like yield and where to put it in, liquidity providing, or just to gain interest, in the link in the description, there's this thing called exchange and wallet fees. And it's all the different exchanges and wallets I've ever used. Voyager, Celsius, SwiftX. Well, I never use SwiftX. I just recommend it for Australians. Gemini Pro, Gemini, Binance, Uniswap, Coinbase, eToro, all those things, right? And there's links there if you want to use those. You don't have to. You can go right to there. But if you do use the links, you get between 10 and 25 bucks when you sign up for all of these different companies and exchanges and brokerages. And my 1-2 punch, me personally, I use Voyager to buy things. And then for the APY, for the interest, usually Celsius beats Voyager every time, even though they're kind of partners. They are partners. So I just transferred over there. So now it sounds like what you'll be able to do with PayPal is you can buy Bitcoin. You can watch it go up. You can transfer it to other places. You can store it in your cold storage nano ledger. And you can also get interest depending on whatever you want to do. And that, I think, is a great addition to crypto. And I'm glad they're actually moving forward to it. So on top of that, the CEO, Dan Schulman, says he thinks there's going to be a tremendous decline in the use of cash. He says all form factors of payment will collapse into the mobile phone. Credit cards as a form factor will go away. And use your phone because a phone can add much more value than just tapping your credit card. So I believe that in a way. I believe that in a way in a little bit. But there's also, I will say this. Yeah, I'm the king of the show. What are you going to do? There is this. You have to, people always, say cash is bad and cash is awful and money printing. And it's true. It's not the greatest thing of all time, especially because we just printed 30% of the entire existence of cash in the last 18 months because the U.S. likes to do quantitative easing, and that's just how we roll. But in all honesty, when people talk about, especially these congressmen and these senators and people in high positions, and they talk about illicit activities, I will tell you this. It's hard to track cash. You ever try to track cash? Super simple. I mean, I think it's the number one choice of all cartels out there. They love to use cash because, you can move it around, you can slosh it. I mean, large sums of cash is very difficult, but look, for small things, like in my sports facility, hey, if you want to pay in cash, right here, no problem. Of course, we report everything to the IRS, but I'm just saying, cash, super hard to track if you have it below 10,000. And but if you want it for ease of use, sure, you can go that way. So everybody who talks about how it's so easy to use crypto and digital assets to actually perform illicit activities and terrorism and things like that, I'm like, oh, really? Well, guess what? You can track all that stuff because it's a public ledger. So I do not know what people are talking about. Anyhow, to finish this up, Schumann also indicated that PayPal's crypto business was already paying dividends for the company. He states we've got a tremendous amount of really great results going on tactically with our crypto efforts. And that's just fees, and that's just how they roll. And that's just how it goes, right? I mean, there's a reason why Coinbase went public. Fees did pretty well. Although I saw a pretty interesting graphic which states that Coinbase's revenue of like 1.5 billion, I forgot if it was for the year or for the quarter, 1.4 billion. Actually, JP Morgan and some other banks, their overdraft fees was more than the revenue for Coinbase. So if you don't think things are going to be massive coming up for crypto and digital assets and everything happening, just take a look at those numbers and just see where I think we are going. So let me know what you believe in the comments section, and let's move on to our next piece where we've seen Bitcoin ads getting banned, and then we'll also talk about Charles just ripping into Cardano yet again. He's my favorite troll, honestly. He's pretty funny. And we'll get into that in a second. But first, what'd I miss? What did I miss in the chats? Jeez, that's awful. Perfect. There we are. Let me scroll back up. Make sure I didn't fit anything. Charles the Man. Should I ETH and ERC20 for all ADA? No. Look, I own both. I don't know which ones are going to be the winner of winners, but I think there's room for both, and I'll explain in a bit. 5 by 5, all good. Rick Alba has a good question. Crash over the weekend coming. And you know what's funny is Alex from Alex Mascioli channel, he texted me this morning. He said, what do you think about this weekend? Is it going to be a crash? And I was like, that's weird. Why is Alex asking me that? Like I know anything. And I was like, I can give him my best guess. And I think that everything's going to move sideways. We'll probably see a little bit of a dip maybe on a Saturday. But remember, it is holiday in the United States. So 3-day weekend, right? And then on top of that, I don't know if people are going to be trading that much. Probably see a dip. But I can almost guarantee there's going to be a dip on Sunday. And I'll tell you why. Because there's always a dip on Sunday. That's just how it goes. Follow me over in Twitter, @NewsAsset. And I say it every Sunday morning. I'm like, I'm just waiting for the Sunday dip. And every Sunday, like clockwork, it happens. Depends on how early I wake up. But yeah, it's pretty much what it is. Nicholas French, hola. Hola. ¿Cómo estás? How do you feel about Pirate Train? Think it's going to be big? It's privacy. Why not? How about OGN, Origin? Yeah, sure. Why not? Jimbo says, the best news channel. Debatable, but I'll take it. And let's see. Hi, Rob. When you do that live stream with James and Alex Becker. So that live stream is a price prediction update video, which we'll do towards the middle of June. And we'll go from there. It's like 10 different YouTube people. And that's it. All right. So I didn't miss anything. We're good to go. Let's jump back, shall we? Oh, shoot. I just missed one. Scarecrow. Have you spoken with Voyager about their wild fees? Scarecrow, what are their wild fees? Please let me know. Someone emailed me and said that to transfer stablecoins off cost $100. I'm like, no, it's not true. I went to Voyager. I tried to, went to go transfer off Tether and USDC, and it was $18. So, you know, it is what it is. Remember, all those stablecoins, they are ERC20 tokens. What does that mean? It means they're on the Ethereum network. What does that mean? Gas fees are high. So, just saying. Yeah. Look into the history of Alex Becker, shady dude. Here's a hint. We're all shady. Shady people. Let's see. And then Suki player? When will you publish the Charlie video? It's coming out soon. That's all I can tell you. All right. Let's go back. Shady. Alex Becker, shady. I don't know how shady he is, but he's funny. He's funny on his channel. When you get past all the jokes, it's pretty good. Pretty good stuff. And he's got some intelligent things to say. I'm not going to put it back. King of the show. That's right. All right. So. Let's go back. Let's talk about ads getting banned for Bitcoin and why I think this is good. Why not? So, Bitcoin ads are being banned in the UK for being irresponsible. Before you start shouting at the screen, listen to this. So, there's an advertising campaign telling people in the UK it's time to buy Bitcoin. Seems pretty reasonable, right? But it was banned by the nation's advertising regulator. And it also was like a cartoon image, and it just says, and I guess there's, in the UK, there's some kind of underground district for transportation. It says, if you're seeing Bitcoin on the underground, it's time to buy. That's all it says. And the Advertising Standards Authority, or ASA, said Wednesday that the ads must not appear again in their current form, and they failed to highlight the risks. It comes a week after the price of Bitcoin collapsed by 30% in a single day, leaving many retail investors who had bought Bitcoin significantly out of pocket. So here's the thing. You can do the same thing over on Robinhood. You can lose a ton of money on Robinhood, and nobody seems to care too much about that. But if it's crypto, well, you lost 30% or 50%. What's a couple of percentage points between friends? If we lose 30 or 50%, it's a lot. But that's volatility, and that's what you get into. So they say, look, you can't do that. You have to, notify people of the risks, which I think if you look at all the different advertisements, I don't know how it is outside the United States, but all the different ads for medications on TV, it's like 10 seconds of like, this is what it does. And it's like 40 seconds of like, this is how it's going to destroy you. And because they have to put it in for side effects. Yet the pharmaceutical companies seem to make a little bit of money in America. Amazing. So who cares if you got to talk about the risks a little bit? I think it's actually could be good, and I'll tell you why. So the watchdog said that it received 4 complaints concerning the ad. One of those was Peter Schiff, I'm pretty sure. 3 of them were from people who believed the ad failed to illustrate the risk of the investment and accused it of being misleading. How many other ads are misleading out there? But I see their point. It has told Luno is the advertising company, to ensure that its future marketing communications make sufficiently clear that the value of investments in Bitcoin was variable and could go down as well as up. They must also highlight the Luno and the Bitcoin market are unregulated. So here's my 2 cents. I used to do digital marketing for my companies. I don't do them anymore, outsource it. But if it was me and I was doing the marketing again, I would highlight that all day long. I'd be like, look, this is a risky asset. And it's risky because it can go up 1,000%, but could also go down. And I would definitely highlight that and talk about, look, these are the things that makes crypto great. So if you really want to get into a division or an asset class that has massive asymmetrical returns and upside gain, but is very risky, this is your opportunity to get in now. I would definitely talk about that. And then when it talks about unregulated, I would say, look, here's the thing. For all those different stocks and bonds and everything else that you have to jump through hoops to get, what's great about the crypto market is that it is unregulated. And that is what is going on. And that's what makes it exciting. So if you're looking to get into an asset class that has huge upside potential, get into Bitcoin and blah, blah, blah. And that's all I would say. And I would highlight what they want me to highlight, and then also make it very enticing. So people will be like, I'm going to do that. So to me, like I see something like this, I mean, that's just a great ad for me. I would just talk about that all day long and go from there. So let me know what you think in the comments section. Let's move on to our last piece, which is my man, Charles Hoskinson. Charles. Hold on real quick. Let me take a look. What I missed in the chats. It's not bad. Let me scroll up a little bit. Doge sucks. Sure. I know, Grim said you named the P who shall not be named. I broke my own rule, but I had to because I thought it was funny. Sup, bro? Sup? Elon Musk is garbage. That's awful. Look, me personally, between us, it's just us. I think that Elon Musk is the master of deception. I think he's kind of like, look what's going on here. Look at this in front of my hand, and Dogecoin and developers. And over here, he's doing some crazy stuff with probably, a lot of Bitcoin and maybe some other projects. That's, I think, would make more sense. Crypto Nobes, look, Crypto Nobes is here. Finally, a celebrity. Hello, Crypto. Hello, Nobes. Thanks. I don't know. Lord of the Rings. I'm thinking of digging the crypto. 8 to the moon. Done. What's up? What's up? All right. And that's that. So great. No questions from the comments, which makes my job pretty easy. Great. So, Charles. Who doesn't? Who doesn't like Charles Hoskinson? People in Ethereum. And then, some other people. I'm sure if you read the book, The Infinite Machine, some people don't like Charles. I think he's funny. And I think this is what you need in a CEO. You need somebody who's a little bit brash, who has nothing but we're going to crush, we're going to do everything in our power, we're going to make sure that we, move forward. And also, moves into those places that really need it, like in Africa, Sub-Saharan Africa. So when I see these types of things, there are 2 of the biggest Ethereum trolls out there. There's 2. I'm going to get a lot of heat for this, but one's Alex Becker. If you don't follow him on Twitter, you should. It's funny. And the second one is Charles. If you had those 2 on one show, be Armageddon. So anyhow, this is what Charles states. And this was in a Yahoo Finance video, which, hey, Yahoo's still around. I still look at it. And Charles recently said that Ethereum is killing itself by deciding to replace the current proof of work algorithm with Ethereum 2.0, which they're going to go from proof of work to proof of stake. Great. And he states this, that Cardano, the third generation blockchain platform, is currently the market leader in proof of stake and leading the tussle for supremacy. Let's break that down. So Hoskinson stated that Cardano, the third generation blockchain platform, is the market leader in proof of stake. So I'm not going to debate Charles on who is the leader, but I will throw up this nice little website. It's called stakingrewards.com. You can go there right now. And they rank everything by rewards, staked value, the percentage that it's actually being staked. Let me expand this a little bit so you can see what I'm talking about. And market cap. So here's Cardano, price, reward, and then here's the total staked amount. If he's going to talk about total staked, he's got a pretty good point. 73% of all Cardano is staked. What does that mean? That means that 3 out of 4 people are like, you know what? I believe in this. I'm going to stake as much Cardano as I can. Also, if you go to danteachescrypto.com, we've got 2 platforms to allow you to stake your Cardano with our DNews staking operators. And right now, I think the max out is 63 million. We're right around 31, 32 million for both. So there's room, but there's not much room. That's all I'll tell you. And then the rewards are always between 4 and 6%. This one says 7.3. I think it's a little bit high, whatever. Then you got Polkadot in second place, Ethereum 2.0 at 4%, but market cap is huge. Solana, 67% staked. Algorand, Avalanche, 68% staked. Wow. Binance, and so on and so forth. And you can view all the assets there. So it's called stakingrewards.com. That's just the information I got. It's an interesting piece. So go from there. And then to move on, he states this: we are leading that fight. Proof of stake. We were the first to market. Engine doesn't make a BMW. It's a part of it, but you need a whole ecosystem, a whole collection of things. It's important to say Ethereum is killing itself. They're replacing Ethereum with Ethereum 2.0, and Ethereum 2.0 will kill Ethereum 1.0, so I think that's the Ethereum killer. So it's a roundabout way of saying they're killing off Ethereum from proof of work to proof of stake. Got it. But then he goes on, as Charles likes to do. He says it's also, he's talking about smart contracts. Can you do that with identity and compliance? Can you do that with metadata? Can you do that with automated regulation? Can you do that at a scale? Can you do that at scale for 1 billion people? Can you do that with some notion of governance that doesn't require a custodial entity to always be around to take care of it? And before you start yelling at the screen, I don't blame you. It's true. Cardano does not have smart contract functionality right now, but it's coming around the corner in August for the Alonzo upgrade. So really, that's when the rubber meets the road, and we'll find out what actually happens. Can they scale? Will these different projects build on Cardano? How great will it be? And can they pull it off? That's the great debate. That's the great question. They're doing pretty good. They've actually hit the milestones, so we'll find out. And then to finish this up, he talks about governance. He stated that Ethereum 2.0 has bowed out, so they say no governance, which he said would cut short the existence of the ecosystem once the founders retire or lose importance. I don't think that's the case. I think that's the whole point of decentralization. Oops, sorry. I think that regardless of who comes and goes and leaves and whatever else, it's still a decentralized project. The same thing is what Brad Garlinghouse talks about with XRP. So XRP holders, I know you like that part, where he says, look, we could go away and Ripple could go away and XRP would still function. That's the whole point of decentralization. And then he talks about Bitcoin developers, how they can't really do anything because I'll have you read it. Well, I should read it to you. You have these Bitcoin developers who desperately want to evolve the system. Even though core developers want to implement multiple improvements like smart contracts and side chains, they can't get anything done. I wonder if that's really true, or if they just a couple of developers want to do it and the other one's like, store value, stop, that's it. That's up to them. And then to finish up, Hoskinson repeatedly said that enabling on-chain governance is a vital part of the Cardano developing roadmap. Pointed out that Ethereum is not as interoperable as other blockchain projects such as Cardano, Polkadot, and others that made side chains available on their network. So look, yeah, that's pretty salty. Depending who you ask, right? Some people say, you know what, totally right on. And some people are saying, no, he's totally wrong for whatever he's saying. To me personally, I like friction. I like little friction sometimes because that causes sparks. And that is exactly how it was in the late 80s, early 90s, all the way in 2000s with these two gentlemen, Steve Jobs and Bill Gates. And this is, I actually did a video on this like months and months ago. I kind of see the parallels between these two juggernauts and what is going on right now in the crypto space. And when you have these people battling it out, if you play sports, doesn't matter, high school, college, professional, you always will rise up to the challenge that you are given. So if you have a team that's not too great or an opponent that's not too great, you usually only have to do just a little bit better. There's very few people that can really push and drive into their maximum effort. It takes that person or those groups of people to propel you into something of greatness. And I think this is what happened here in business. And you can see that also looking at like tennis. You can see like a Roger Federer and a Rafael Nadal. You can see it all in football. I mean, name any kind of team or quarterback. There you go. And then of course these two. So when I see something like Hoskinson really getting fired up, you know that really fires up the Ethereum team to be better. And then once they make these big moves, then that propels Cardano Network to go, wait, we need to step up our game and do even better things. So what does it mean for us? They work their A off and we get the benefits of seeing which one's going to actually make it. And the whole thing is, I don't know which one's going to be great. That's why I own both. That's really all I can really tell you on that one. So let me know what you think in the comments section. And that is pretty much it for today. There's a couple announcements which I'll talk about when let me pull up the chat, see if I missed anybody, and go from there. But yeah, I mean, that's how I see it. I'm glad to see these two guys fight it out. All right. Helmet said I sold my Ethereum Classic. All right. I was never a big Ethereum Classic guy. Some people love it. Mike the Investor loves it. I never got it. But he was right on BTT. So let's see. The ultimate source of value is in proof of work. Yeah, probably. But I think as time moves on, we're going to go to proof of stake. And I think there's only going to be so many proof of works that we can do. That's how it goes. Irresponsibly long. That's right. Your fan spins so slowly. I know. It's lazy like me. This fan right here. Oh, man. C. Kennedy bought 15,000 Matic at 25 cents. Congratulations. Joka Salsa says, stop trashing other projects. Focus on yours. Hey, it's entertaining. It is. And like I said, it pushes people to new heights. It always worked for me in sports when I was playing against somebody. If someone was going to trash talk me, I'm going to play pretty damn hard. But you got to be good. And if you're going to come, you got to come correct. Anthony Wan, 25. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. What do you think about GME AMC surging again? This is, do you think after the Musk incident, all the meme investors have left us and returned to stock for good? No. There's too much money to be made in crypto and digital assets. You have to understand, like even Ray Dalio came out and said, Leo, I don't know if I always say his name wrong. I think it's Dalio. He's like, yeah, and he was pretty negative on Bitcoin. He thought that governments would control it. And he said, you know what? Just a couple of days ago, he's like, I bought some Bitcoin. And there's other big time billionaire people getting into it. And you see it all the time. So you have to understand, traders, hedge funds, those types of places, mostly traders, and some pretty big institutions. There's two things. Bitcoin's a great hedge. It is gold 2.0. Also, if you're a big trader, there's a lot of money to be made in volatility, and that's why they love it. The only problem is leverage traders. We talked about this before. I believe, unless you really know what you're doing, 50 and 100x plays really screw up this market. That's what I can tell you. And I talked to the guys over at Market Rebellion. They told me they're the ones that told me. And they're like, this is the exact problem that we're having. That's why you see like in a day or in 20 minutes, we'll lose, $10 billion because people get liquidated. I don't think it's an option for me. I'm just not that smart. And I'm just an investor, dollar cost average. And right now, as everything's going sideways, these are the exciting times for me. That's the truth. And Rick says, where's my tomato coin? So everybody who stakes into the D-News stake pool for Cardano, and again, you can go to danteachescrypto.com, one of the links that on the top, it says ADA staking. Everybody who stakes in there will get tomato coin. What is tomato coin? It's putting Marinera on the blockchain. We are so close to having a partnership with Olive Garden. and Pizza Hut. I'm just kidding. That's a total lie, which I made up right now. Tomato coin is a joke coin that I always talk about just to represent all joke coins. And the guys over that my crew that do the stake pool, they created Tomato coin on the Cardano blockchain for me. And I was like, thanks. The thing is, we're waiting to have like a graphical representation. So when I do the airdrop, you'll just see these. They're going to look like digitalized tomatoes, and you can see them in your Daedalus wallet. So that's what we're waiting on. So yes, they're coming. I can't believe people actually want them. It's hilarious to me. All right. Still buy decent in Puerto Rico? Yeah. Well, Puerto Rico, that video is coming. Just wait. So if you don't know, me and the wife are moving to Puerto Rico. We already have a condo over there, just setting up the paperwork with the lawyer, and then I'll do the video with the lawyer, the real estate agent, the accountant, and then the people that live there. So you can get an idea of what it is. I will tell you right now, moving to Puerto Rico, not for everybody, and I'll explain why. Christian, how do you think Zilliqa compares to the likes of ETH and ADA? I think Zilliqa was one of the few to really get it right. Weren't they the big ones to set up proof of stake well in the beginning? I think Zilliqa has a good future. But I got so many projects I just can't do. I just can't keep getting into them. I just got to focus on the ones. And the next thing, let me bring something up so everybody knows what I'm talking about. The next thing I'm doing, as we just talked about with the ecosystem, with Bill Gates versus Steve Jobs, and how I see it's a parallel between Charles Hoskinson and Vitalik. I want to talk to you guys about, because I think that Ethereum is going to be big this year, especially with their layer 2s, especially with Mark Cuban coming out and saying that he's buying the layer 2 solution, Matic or Polygon. And I think because of what happened with Ethereum and the gas fees, that's why we saw a big run up with Binance Chain, and we see the things with Avalanche because they can do these things. I also think that Cardano, when they start to launch those smart contracts, we're going to see a big push into those projects. And I could be wrong, but I'm 90% sure. Not financial advice, just a financial opinion. And what I want to do is, we already did an interview with, where are they? With Charlie, which is the Oracle built on Cardano. We did that yesterday. We're going to do a follow-up, and I'll put the video out. We're doing a video today with Indigo for the synthetic assets, which will lead us to Liquid. And also, we just made contact with Sunday Swap and Card Starter, and I will have them on the show as well. I will not be putting that at this channel, Digital Asset News. It will only go to Dan Clips, because that's where all new projects and more advanced things go. This is just for news and basic stuff. So I'll let everybody know when that drops. But the idea is to give these projects equal time to talk about what's coming up, what they're doing, and how it's going to affect the Cardano ecosystem. And my goal is to get as many people or many groups in as I possibly can. And that's it. And we've already talked to WMT, World Mobile Token. And if you are looking to do good and do well, definitely check. Let me just show you what it is. And then that's it. I got to get out of here. That stuff is like way late. So World Mobile, we did that over at Dan Clips, actually. Looks like this. Let's see what's up. Wow, 1,400 people watching. Elon versus Bitcoin. Hey, you ever watch Paul Barron? Barron? Pretty good guy. And also, these guys, some sub. Interesting. They do a bunch of things with hacking. Not hacking. Keeping people safe. That's a better way to say it. Anyhow. So over at Digital Asset News Clips, a whopping 11,000 subscribers. Thanks, everybody. This was the video. It was me and Mickey, the CEO of World Mobile Token. Check that out. They're doing two great things. They're actually putting infrastructure into places in Africa where it is solar panels, and then these like AirPods for like a mesh network, so they can bring telecommunications and internet service to these underserved and unbanked people. And they're looking into, this is a 4 This is a $1 trillion industry with 4 billion people who are underserved. And the way they're doing it is twofold: infrastructure with the one that I just talked about, and also their token itself. So that I think is going to be huge. You need to do two things: do well and do good. So yeah. But once I get these interviews, I'll stick them up and you guys can decide what is a good one. Also, Cody, I think I contacted them. Damn, I can't remember. But I'll get them on and we'll talk about what it's all about. All right, so that's it. Lastly, any questions you guys got, I'll answer, but that is it for today. Thanks for sticking by. I appreciate it. So what happens when ETH 2.0 comes about? Will Matic existence be affected? How? Good question. Maybe we should get the guys from Matic on. Layer 2 solutions, I still think there's going to be a need for those, and that's just how it is. Especially if Ethereum really becomes that world computer that everybody believes it could be. Anything on Nervos? No. Marriage is good for taxes. Let's do it. Yeah, exactly. Coin Bureau has good views on crypto tax location. Yeah, go watch Coin Bureau. Go watch Guy. He's actually, in my description, there's like 8 people I always watch, and I always recommend Guy and Alex and Mike the Investor and Nobes and all these guys. Tax benefits. All right, that's it. All right, guys, so thanks. That is it for today. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. That helps tremendously. Also consider subscribing. A lot of things we talk about are time sensitive, like we just talked about with PayPal, with these ads being banned, and with things going on in the Cardano ecosystem and stuff like that, as well as Ethereum and everything's going on.